Can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope, she bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Cartoon Boom!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cartoon Boom. This is a show where we wake up the Saturday morning sun, pop down on the floor with a big bowl of sugar is here and watch your favorite cartoons, both old and new. I'm your down in his luck con man looking for a princess to help him line his pockets, Joseph.
And I'm a corpse looking for that sweet, sweet revenge. I'm Chris.
And today we watched Anastasia.
Ta-da! The one that we talked about, hey, we should watch that sometime. And then we immediately ended up watching it.
Yeah, it was this time almost as if the ranking is rigged in some way.
Yeah, it's almost as if like we thought about it and then everybody was like, let's go in there and
Just make it happen.
let's make that happen. This was brought to us by Sarah Lee 008, the secret baking agent of Britain. I think that's what she does. I think we've established this.
Yeah, that's what it was. She bakes gadgets into her pies.
Into the pies, all that good stuff. So thank you, Sarah, for doing that, for the pies and the movie.
Thanks, Sarah. So the movie Anastasia aired in 1997, directed by Don Bluth and Gary Goldman, screenplay by Susan Gauthier, Bruce Graham, Bob Zudiker. Man, that's a weird name.
Zudiker. You gotta say it all funny, like Zudiker.
It's Tzudiker. Zudiker.
It's pronounced Bob. We'll just
It's
go
Bob.
with Bob.
It's Bob.
Yeah.
Bob Zoo and Noni White. Story by Eric Tuckman, based on two different Anastasia stories. Anastasia by Arthur Lawrence and Anastasia by Marcel Moret.
Oh, interesting.
And I guess which are both based on the real life historical figure Anastasia Romanov.
Yeah,
Loosely, at least.
very loosely.
Yeah.
And also Grigory Rasputin, also. Again, very loosely.
Yeah, who was also directly related, well, not related to, but corresponded with the Romanovs.
Yeah, exactly.
Produced by Fox Family Films and Fox Animation Studios. For your synopsis, the last surviving child of the Russian royal family joins two con men to reunite with her grandmother, the Dowager Empire, while the undead Rasputin seeks her death.
There we go. Yeah, pretty much. In a
That's
nutshell.
the long and short of it. Yeah.
The long and short, the curtails.
A fun kids movie that it is.
Yes. It is fun, though. It's fun. Also really dark.
There's fun to it, but it's like the underlying darkness is definitely present.
It's definitely a Don Bluth film.
Yeah. It's like, what if All Dogs Go to Heaven was darker? Then you've got Anastasia.
I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
Who were some of the actors you played in this movie?
It's interesting because they're all pretty big name folks that are typically seen in live action stuff, aside from one. So the character of Anya, a.k.a. Anastasia, was voiced by Meg Ryan. The voice of Dimitri, voiced by John Cusack, which in listening to this, I'm realizing how much young John Cusack sounds just like present day Chris Pine. Like for whatever reason, they've got like the exact same voice. So they could swap in and out like interchangeably and you wouldn't notice. Vladimir was voiced by Kelsey Grammer, which he never knew that. He did a great job with his accent because I never guessed that was Kelsey Grammer until I saw it here.
You can hear it when he's getting excited sometimes. You can definitely hear the Frasier in that voice.
No surprise here, because you can definitely hear it. Rasputin, voiced by Christopher Lloyd, who did an amazing job. That was great. Bartok, the Bat, voiced by Hank Azaria. He's the one that I was going to say is like the only one out of this crew that is typically used to doing voiceover work. So doing animation, stuff like that, especially from his time on The Simpsons.
Right.
But everyone else, mainly just live action work. Anastasia's grandmother, the Empress Marie, voiced by Angela Lansbury, and then Sophie, voiced by Bernadette Peters. And that is the main cast.
Yeah, that is a star-studded cast. And when I
Huge.
saw it, I was like impressed by it, but also like, I don't know, like I was surprised because even though I'd known about the movie Anastasia, I didn't know there were so many people tied to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for some reason I was thinking of it as more of like a lower budget effort, but no, this definitely was not.
They pulled out all the stops in this thing. Like it had so much, like they had a lot of different types of animation in it. And for the time, it was pretty top notch, really.
Yeah, it looked great. It sounded great. And all the actors did wonderful jobs.
I agree.
For a few tasty marshmallows out of our big bowl of Anastasia cereal, in real life, Olga really did say that Anastasia's drawing looked like a pig riding a donkey. This was stated by Anastasia in a letter to her father, and the image used in the movie is a reproduction of the original picture. So that was like one of Anastasia's actual drawings.
That's pretty cool.
The music box in this movie existed. It was given to Anastasia by Mary Fedorovna, we'll say, for her 13th birthday, but it was silver with the ballerina on top instead. So there was some form of that music box. And then
that's interesting.
In real life, Grigory Efimovich, who is Rasputin, was a very controversial figure who, in fact, was Romanov's advisor and Tsarina Alexandra's most trusted confidant. Rumor has it that Rasputin told the Tsarina, I've never heard Tsarina. I guess it makes sense, but
sure,
I've just never heard that term. Told her that he was about to be assassinated and that if one of her relatives killed him, then all the Romanov family would die within a year. While, of course, these facts were too dark to be included in the movie, there is a reference during the song A Rumor in St. Petersburg. An old woman tells Dmitri to buy Count Yusupov's pajamas while offering a pair of ragged clothes. Yusupov, who actually was a prince, really existed, was indeed related to Alexandra Romanov, and was the one who killed the real Rasputin along with a group of noblemen.
Yeah, I've actually, just because the story of Rasputin's so interesting, I actually know a lot about it. And like, they had to do so much to take this dude out. They poisoned him, but he survived the poison. And then they shot him multiple times. And he fell into, well, like in the movie, he fell into like, that frozen river.
Yeah.
And then dies, in this film. But that's what happened in real life. Even though he was poisoned, he got shot a bunch of times. He actually drowned in the river. Like the bullets still didn't get him either. It's insane, like how hardy this dude was. So yeah, it's nuts.
It really ties well to him in this movie of just this like walking corpse, basically.
He's just falling apart everywhere. Yeah, it's great.
Near the beginning of the movie, Anya finds a puppy and names him Puka. In Celtic folklore, a puka is a shape-shifting creature that can bring fortune.
No, that's kind of fun.
This was Don Bluth's highest grossing film and his first financially successful film since All Dogs Go to Heaven in 1989. So
nice.
We basically just covered both of his financially successful films.
Nice. We just jumped from one to the other.
Yeah.
Like he did one in the 80s and then he's like, man, I'm really not doing very well. And then we went straight to the next one that did well.
Yeah, like 8 years later. So the real story, I don't know too much about the real story of Anastasia, but I do know that there was the revolution in Russia that did like storm the palace and like hold them hostage or something. Keep them held, like all the Romanovs hostage in one room, and then supposedly killed them all. But then there were rumors for the longest time, which is kind of what this movie is based on, that Anastasia wasn't killed because they never found her body until later when they did find her body, then we're able to like confirm that she did die there. But yeah, so this was partially based on the fact that her body was missing for so long. Yeah,
it was like a legend, kind of like a myth that came out of Russia, and I think people wanted to believe that she was still alive, which is kind of, what this story is based on. Because that really plays into a lot of this is like, there's a huge, even like a song with the Russian people singing about like the rumor, the legend that she still lives and they're hoping for her to return.
Right. And the name Anastasia really does mean resurrection or something to that degree. They even say it in the movie, but I fact-checked it, and that's true.
That's interesting. I had no idea. So maybe that's part of like why the rumors surrounded her specifically, maybe? I'm not sure.
Well, that and also that they didn't find her corpse when they found the corpses of the rest of the family. It was elsewhere when they found it much later. So that was part... It was like, she's missing. Her name is Resurrection. So it's like, she's got to be alive, right?
She's alive. But then they did DNA tests and they're like, oh, no, she definitely died the same day. It's like, yeah, she was definitely dead this whole time. Oops.
Yeah, she was just like, they found her and one of her sisters like far away from where the rest of the family was, like in some kind of fire pit or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, sad. Oh, man.
It was rough for the Romanov family. They got overthrown and all murdered, and it's a horrible thing.
Do you think Marvel named Natasha, like, Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, because they were just like, that's the only Russian last name they could think of?
I mean, it's like the coolest Russian last name, so probably.
Romanov. Yeah. They were just like, I don't know any. I mean, I know of Anastasia Romanov, so I guess we'll just go with that. We'll go Romanov. Sure.
Yeah, that's my assumption. I have no idea.
It works. It sounds cool.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
It's the best Russian last name. So let's go and jump into the movie we watched. So the year is 1916. Nicholas Romanov was Tsar. They are celebrating the 300th anniversary of their family's rule. And this is when we get introduced to, well, first, the fact that Anastasia and her grandmother are very close.
Never celebrate 300 of anything. Just saying.
Yeah, clearly, because in this case, like, it leads to, well, for everything's going fine. And then Rasputin shows up. This is like gross, decrepit, like dude who was once a holy man.
Not yet dead, but nasty. Yeah.
Yeah, not dead yet, but just looking gross. He was banished, and like they're like, why are you at this party? You've been banished, like go away. And so he cursed the entire family to die in a fortnight, in 2 weeks. And he sold his soul for the power to destroy the family. And he got this like vial with these green demonic energy in it.
Yeah, reliquary is what he calls it. His reliquary.
Yeah. It's a vial. I'm not going to remember reliquary.
It is a vial. But like that scene where we see him sell his soul was so hardcore. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was cool. There was a lot of like really well done scenes here and memorable ones too.
Yeah, you see like his skin like rip from his body into this green like smoke, and his skeleton turns blue, and it's like shambling, and then it all comes back to him, and it's just like, it's gnarly, to use that phrase, which no one uses anymore. I'm reclaiming it.
Gnarly.
It's gnarly, bro. And I just want to point out here that young Anastasia was voiced by Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And then when she sings the song with the grandma, that's Lacey Chabert singing. There, we've talked about Lacey quite a bit in our other episodes, so I wanted to throw those out there.
And the song in this case was "Once Upon a December," which we hear a lot in this movie, and it's a really good song.
I love it. It's really haunting, honestly. Like, that's what I like about it. It's Russian music has some sort of like, I don't know what it is about it, but it's got some sort of haunting melody to a lot of the music for some reason. And I love it.
It reminds me a lot of the song from Coco. Like, if you played the two like back to back, the Remember Me, like they kind of have the same vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, I now that you say that, I can kind of hear that. That's pretty cool.
So after this curse is placed upon the Romanov family, the townspeople are, I guess, I don't know, the people who were just like sick and tired of their rule just stormed the castle.
Yeah, some folks and the guards.
Yeah, led by Rasputin partially. They really, like, we don't see all of this happen, of course, but what does happen is we see this young not servant boy, but young like kitchen boy, like let Anastasia and his grandmother out of this secret door so they're able to escape. And we can assume the rest of the family was killed because
they did.
Yeah.
Super dead. And Rasputin sees them. Well, actually it's Bartok, his bat, sees them and alerts Rasputin, who goes chasing after them through the snow. And that's when Rasputin falls into the icy river and dies.
That's right. Yeah.
And then Anastasia and her grandmother make it to the train and they're trying to escape to Paris. And before all that too, like they had always talked about like going to Paris. That's where her grandmother goes a lot for like vacations and stuff. She goes off to Paris a lot. It's like a family tradition thing. It's a safe place, fond memories for their family. So like she had given Anastasia earlier, like that music box and the necklace that opens with the key that opens it. And it says like Paris forever or something on it, on the necklace. And she drops the music box for one as they're fleeing, which Kitchen Boy picks up. And then for two, as they get to this train station, they're trying to flee to get on this train to get out of there and assumably going to Paris. They get separated. So grandma is on the train out of there. Anastasia gets knocked in the head, falls unconscious. And then it kind of transitioned to 10 years later. And we're seeing very, very different things. Dmitri and Vladimir, we get introduced to them. We see Anya, who is a little bit older woman. Well, I guess not older woman. She's 18. Living at an orphanage for some reason. I thought that was weird.
This is her first time leaving the orphanage. Yeah. The headmistress or whatever got her a job. Now that she's 18, she's leaving the orphanage, going out on her own.
There we go. That's why.
And she comes in, she reaches a crossroads because a literal crossroads because like there's the go left to go to, I don't know, whatever place it was that has the work that she's got.
St. Petersburg, I think.
Yeah, St. Petersburg is on the right. And she's been trying to get to St. Petersburg. I can't remember. Why was she initially trying to go there?
I don't remember.
Oh, I know. Because like she was trying to get to Paris because she still had the amulet that said together in Paris that her grandmother gave her. She has lost her memory at this point. So she doesn't know why she has it. She knows she needs to be there to find, a family or somewhere to belong. And so she's at this crossroads trying to find a sign. And then that's where Puka comes out, this little puppy, and literally grabs the scarf off of her and runs towards St. Petersburg. And so she's like, all right, well, I guess that's the sign, and follows him.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the town is kind of all abuzz. Like the rumors have persisted, as we've talked about, that Anastasia might be alive. Two of those people are Dmitri and Vladimir, who both used to work at the palace. And they have become grifters, like con men, Dmitri being a young man and Vladimir being an older gentleman, probably in his 60s or so. And what they're doing is they've come up with this scheme of if they can convince a young woman that she is the missing Anastasia, or at least get her to pretend to be the missing Anastasia and get the grandmother in Paris to buy it, they'll get a huge reward.
Yeah, 10 million rubles.
Yeah, 10 million rubles. So they're literally doing like auditions, which is pretty funny, especially like some of the people that show up. Like the one woman that's like, oh, I'm Anastasia.
Yeah, like everyone's way overacting or just doesn't fit the part at all, or just like way too old to play Anastasia.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. And I like the scene where like they're getting fed up with it and they leave, and Anastasia literally like walks by them as Anya.
Yeah, like bumps into them because she's looking for Dmitri, because as she's at the train station trying to find a way to get to Paris, she finds out that she needs a travel visa, basically an exit visa to leave St. Petersburg, and she doesn't have one. So, but someone tells her like, hey, if you like in secret, if you need a exit visa, like go see Dmitri, like he can get you one. Being the con man that he is, he probably makes these fake passes as well. Well, I know he does because we see them.
And they tell her basically where to go. He's basically squatting in the old palace.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
Which is a nice place to squat.
Oh my God. Yeah, that place is awesome. And one thing we didn't talk about too was like in the beginning scene where you're actually seeing it before it gets ransacked. That place is immaculate. It's beautiful, huge, golden. Everything's ornate. Like it's gorgeous. Then it's interesting getting to see it like all decrepit and falling apart and just ransacked. Still looks pretty cool, but it's very dead looking inside. Yeah. She goes there and she breaks through like some wood panels to get inside, and she's looking for him. And she's like, every once in a while through the movie, she gets these tiny little sparks of memory, and she gets some getting in there. She's remembering like the ballroom and stuff like that when Dmitri and Vladimir find her, and they see her standing right in front of this huge painting of the family, and like Dimitri's looking at the painting of the young Anastasia and then looking at Anya, and he's just like, oh dang, this is perfect. She looks so much like her. This could work. And then I love when they start talking to her, and he's just like, so like getting her story, and she's like, yeah, I don't remember much about my past. I have this thing that says something about Paris, and he's like, oh my God, this is the perfect thing to fall in my lap. She already wants to go to Paris. She doesn't remember anything about her life. I could totally pass her off as Anastasia.
Yeah, and like she looks enough like her too.
It literally just is, and he's just like, oh man, I can totally pull this con. And I think that's the funniest thing ever.
And I love the way that he like presents her with tickets to Paris. Like he has some, I don't even remember what kind of like fake tickets they were that Vlad handed him.
They were like tickets for the like as the Russian circus or something.
Yeah, that's what it was. And so he just like grabs a couple of them and is like, here, like these are tickets to Paris, but I can only take someone, you know, I can only take my Anastasia basically, or Anastasia Romanoff or whatever. So he plays her in such a way where he like holds out the carrot and then walks away. And like he's playing her because he knows what she's going to do. And Vlad's like trying to convince him like, no, like we got to like stay here and keep going. He's like, no, just like, listen, just walk with me and wait. And he does the whole countdown thing where he's just like 3, 2, 1. And that's when she screams out and she's like, hey, let me come with. So like she's fallen right into this trap without even knowing it.
Yeah. But at the same time, so Bartok sees her.
Also squatting in the castle, apparently.
Also squatting in the castle. Everyone squats there. In fact, I'm going to go find that place. I'm going to squat there. That sounds great. I mean, it's just as cold as where I am now anyway, so who cares?
Seems like it.
And he has the vial with him. So it's like once he realizes, he sees Anya, and Bartok puts it together right away that this is Anastasia and that she's still alive. And that like activates the vial somehow. And it pulls Bartok through all kinds of stuff like underground. And he ends up in this like an underworld where there's this floating island with Rasputin kind of imprisoned there as a corpse. And he pretty much just looks like gross Rasputin. Like he looks the same. He just falls apart every once in a while. Like his eyeball will fall off, an arm will fall off.
His lips fell off.
His lips. He will strangle himself every once in a while and his neck will elongate when he gets really mad.
Yeah. So the story is he's in limbo because he didn't fulfill his end of the bargain for that curse, which is to kill the entire Romanov family. And since Anastasia still lives, he is stuck in limbo and has been for the past 10 years.
Exactly. And he's super excited to see Bartok. And then he's really super mad that Anastasia's still alive. And he's like, that's why I'm still stuck here. She's still alive. Okay, we're going to kill her. And he's like coming up with these plans and ideas. And he sings this song. And the song is so good, so catchy, super dark. And the singing voice for this was actually Jim Cummings, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you listen, like you can totally hear it too. It goes into that kind of like almost like Pete's kind of voice every once in a while with that raspiness from like Goof Troop stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. I think that was one of my favorite parts of the whole film was Rasputin's song and dance right here.
The song is mainly just about revenge and completing his curse. But yeah, it's a good song nonetheless.
Yeah. I like the visuals that went along with it. There's all the little bugs and he starts creating all the like green glowy bat demons and stuff. That was cool.
It's a super evil song and he's just a bad dude. It's awesome. Yeah. We jump back over to Anastasia and the others, and they're taking a train to Paris at this point. But we start to see those little green demons, like, kind of jumping aboard the train. They end up, like, detaching the car that they're in from the train. And so they think they're going to be okay. They're like, okay, we'll just, like, they're trying to, like, stop it, but they can't. The brakes are burnt out. There's no one driving the train anymore. The demons have, I don't know, dispatched of them. And so they're thinking they're just going to like coast to a stop eventually. But then right in front of them, they see this like giant, like the bridge.
Oh, man.
Like the tracks that are over this like giant drop just explode with this giant demon form comes up. That was really cool.
That was so cool. Yeah, it just destroys it. And then they're like, well,
yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah. So then like Dimitri's idea is like, I'm just going to try to like hook the rails with this like grappling hook thing. And it works to some degree. It rips the tracks up, but not enough to slow them down, only enough to turn them to where they can jump out at the last minute. So they managed to live through that, but man, it was close.
It was. They end up also, they end up having to go on foot for a while after that. And then after a while, they end up taking a boat since their train, plans were derailed. Wink.
Yeah.
Get it? I did another funny. Anyway, little splintered stuff for you.
Yeah, you made another funny.
Yeah. Anyway, they end up on a boat and they like got a dress for her. They've been like teaching her how like about the life of the palace and stuff. Some of the people that were there, some of the family, just so like she can try to be a little bit more like convincing when she shows up trying to say, hey, I'm Anastasia, and not just some random, orphan girl. They get her a nice dress. And of course, in typical fashion, Dimitri immediately starts falling in love as soon as he sees her in the dress.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, well, we got to teach you how to dance. So Dimitri's trying to dance with her and it gets even worse for him falling in love. Of course, there's a lot of like almost kisses through this film, but they never kiss till the very end.
Yeah, they keep getting interrupted by something.
Always something.
Or just by nerves.
Or nerves, yes.
By Dimitri's nerves, yeah.
When they go to bed here, they all go to sleep in their cabins, having been thwarted with the demons not getting the job done. Rasputin then is just like, well, I'm going to get in her mind. And he does a little spell where he gets into her dreams and she starts sleepwalking because in her mind, she's following this little boy in like this nice forest and stuff. She goes to a cliff edge. She sees what she thinks is like family down below this cliff swimming in the water and they're trying to get her to jump. But she's honestly like standing on the side of this boat that she is on in the middle of this horrible storm. And she's about to just jump right in and like die.
This is one of my favorite scenes. It was so tense. So tense. Yeah. And it was just so visually awesome the way it kept jumping back and forth to where it's like, here's what she's seeing. Here's reality. And she is just like sleepwalking to her death, basically walking right to the edge of this ship about to jump down into the water. Because in her dream, it's like her whole family's down there. They're just asking her to come jump down in the water and play with them. And it looks so fun and inviting. And I was like, man, that was just so well done.
Yeah. Luckily, Puka had realized that she was gone, barked until Dimitri woke up. He panicked, ran out there. And I like, too, that he didn't just immediately run out and save her. Like, he was getting knocked around because, like, it's a storm. There's big waves. He's getting, like, slapped all around this boat. But he finally gets her at the last second before she jumps in. And she like hits him in the face at first because the very last second as she, almost doesn't jump in there, like her father in her dream turns into like this demon is just like jump and she starts freaking out, which turns into Dimitri holding her. So then she's thinking this demon's grabbing her. She starts beating the crap out of Dimitri, who gets slapped by Anya so many times in this film. No matter what situation is, it's pretty satisfying every time he gets punched in the face.
Yeah, he kind of has it coming sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean,
he really does.
He's just your classic like con man initially, so it's good to see him get some comeuppance a little bit before he actually learns his lesson. So right after this happens, like Rasputin is just down there in limbo going insane because he's like, why is she not dead? I'm gonna have to do it myself. I got to do this in person. And Bartok's like, how are you even going to do that? You're falling apart. You're literally dead and falling apart. So what are you going to do? And he just manages to phase himself up back into existence. We don't see him for a while. We just know like he's going to go up there and deal with it himself in person.
Yeah. What I liked here too is we didn't really know if it would come into play or not, but Bartok was just like, I can't stand by you, like doing this to yourself. And I thought it was just kind of a line, but at that point, Bartok is done with him. Like, he doesn't really help him anymore.
Yeah, Bartok's an interesting character to me because I know he's in there for kids, but he becomes like a very conflicted figure. He is like part of the initial murder of the family, but then I guess like he has a line.
Yeah.
It's just been so many years. He's like, all right, just drop it. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's like he had a change of heart, and it's just like, you know, during the 10 years that he wasn't doing dastardly things, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he was, we don't know. But he was just like, you need to let this go. Like, this whole revenge thing, it's not good for you. There's no point anymore, basically, is what he's getting at. Just live whatever kind of life you've got and just let it go. And since Rasputin's so obsessed, Bartok's just kind of done with him. Like, he stays with Rasputin, but he does not help him from this point on. And I thought that was interesting.
He's definitely not like the like Fidget, the bat from Great Mouse Detective, who is like clearly evil and has bad intentions. Like, Bartok's just like kind of there and doing his master's biddings, not really like an evil soul.
And I like too that he doesn't always like take crap from Rasputin. Like he's not like a Jafar Iago thing, you know, where Jafar will be like, shut up, Iago, and Iago's got to shut up or whatever. Like, Bartok will poke fun at Rasputin every once in a while and like say different things, and Rasputin just kind of has to roll with it. So it's a little bit more seeming like a where Bartok has kind of made it known, like, this is like, I'm doing this as a favor for you. Like, we're buds, and I'm not going to be your bud anymore if you keep doing this. So I thought that was kind of interesting because that doesn't usually happen with those dynamics. So that was cool.
Yeah, he did have a lot more, I guess, power as like the second in command, or just the kind of servant role there than you usually see.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a lot more agency, I guess.
Yeah, that was the word. I was looking for that word.
Yeah, I was looking for it too. I just thought of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they finally make it to Paris, and they're trying to, we see a scene of the Empress like getting basically another fake Anastasia, trying to convince her that she's Anastasia. And she's just like, you know what? That's it. I'm not like seeing any more people like saying they're Anastasia. I'm just done. My heart can only take so much. And this happens to be right as actual Anastasia and Dmitri and Vlad make it to Paris and go to visit her to introduce her as the real Anastasia.
Right. It's interesting here because they first know that they have to prove her legitimacy to the grandmother's kind of not really servant, like friend, but I guess caretaker, which is Sophie, which Vlad knows from back when, and pretty sure Vlad is quite sweet on.
Oh, yeah.
They must have a past. So they're talking with Sophie. All of them are in there. Anya's answering all of the questions and everything. And then what's interesting is Sophie asks one that they usually don't ask, or I guess she usually doesn't ask. She's just like, how did you escape? And then she gets a memory, and she's just like, I remember something like a boy like let me through a wall. And she's like, I know that sounds absurd. Like, I guess I couldn't be real. And that's when Dmitri realizes for the first time that this is legitimate, because Dmitri is the boy from the kitchen, and he still has the music box. Like, he's had it. We've seen it a couple times, but he's held on to it ever since. So we know that he's the boy, and it's like his realization right there is just like a huge switch in his character once he realizes that this is the real Anastasia. And then it's just like he kind of turns a new leaf over here, and it's just like, okay, like he's not going to take no for an answer at this point. But for the right reasons, because he's grown to love Anya for who she is. So
yeah, he's no longer carrying on this con. Now he is legitimately trying to convince the Empress that this is the actual Anastasia, because he now knows it is. And is not successful for quite a while.
No, she won't see them. And then Sophie's like, okay, she's going to the opera tonight. Go to the opera. Like, I'll get you guys in and we'll basically ambush her there. And that's the plan. They go to the opera. They see, it's like a Cinderella, I think was what they watched, which I thought was kind of a fun little dig at Disney, maybe, from Don Bluth. I thought that was great. After it's over and stuff, Sophie's just like, oh, look, it's Anastasia apparently is here to see you. And Dimitri's like going in there and trying to say, yes, we actually have the real Anastasia. Empress is like, no, you don't. I'm done with you. And Anastasia's outside the room, but the door is open so she can hear everything. And she's like, she knows who Dimitri is. She doesn't know that who he used to be, that he used to be the boy that worked in the palace. But she has heard of this con man named Dimitri who has been holding all these auditions for girls to pretend to be Anastasia, all that stuff. Anya's never known all this and is super mad when he comes out as a failure because she thinks that he's been conning her this whole time. Dang, she slaps him so hard. Holy crap.
And she's not wrong. He has been conning her the whole time.
Yeah, it
up
was
until he
a
actually
con.
realized. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long con that became a non-con. But either way, he just about gets the skin slapped off his face. That was a smack heard around the world. Good Lord.
Yeah. And so like she, leaves him behind but he's not ready to give up yet. Like even as like she's leaving the
This
the
cracks
play.
me up.
Yeah, he like her driver is letting her into the car, and then like Dimitri sneaks into the driver's side and literally kidnaps her.
Kidnaps
as
the
she's-
Empress.
The Empress, yeah, and drives her back to the place that they're staying. He and Anastasia and Vlad, and it's just so funny, like him holding her hostage. Like he cannot be convinced otherwise. She has to see her. Like he has to make this happen.
The scene's really good. Like she goes up there and confronts Anya and they start to talk and she definitely does not believe her at all.
It was really tense.
It is tense, especially like when she's just like, so I suppose you want the money. And she's just like, I don't really care about that. I just want to know who I am. I want to know where I belong. I want my family. I want you. And the grandmother, the Empress is just kind of like sort of laughing it off. And she's like, you're a really good actress. You're better than all the others have been. And it's just kind of a little bit of this back and forth of Anya trying really hard to just open up and be very honest. And the Empress is just kind of like, not believing her, just like, you're no different than anybody else. Everyone has tried this on me. You're nothing, until Anya smells peppermint on the Empress and it triggers a memory for her. And she starts talking about it. And that gets the Empress's attention really quick. And it's just like, this is something nobody would know.
In conjunction with that, like she's already revealed that she has the music box, but that doesn't mean anything to her like independently. Then she shows her that she has the necklace as well. The, Together in Paris one.
In Paris, yes.
And so they then like she uses it to unlock the little box, the music box, and they start singing. Like she starts singing Once Upon a December when she's hearing the tune. And that's when it's like, oh man, like that's the big reveal. I got chills just now, just thinking about it. Cause it's like, yeah, like that's the moment.
It's so good. It's such a good, like even leading up and they're in the same room and it's coming. It's such a big, great reveal when they finally like realize, that she is Anastasia and you're just like, yes, finally.
Well, because at this point, like it's been so there's been so much back and forth and Empress doesn't believe them. And obviously, for good reason, she's been tricked so many times before. So it's like, when is it actually going to happen? So it's like it's almost like in a romance, like in a rom-com or something where it's like, will they, won't they? It's like, come on, just do it. And so getting that reveal or getting that like revelation, I guess, it felt so good at the moment. But of course, it doesn't wrap up nicely right here at all.
No, it can't. Because Rasputin's still around.
Yeah.
And also Dimitri is kind of like, well, my job's done. And in fact, like they are still kind of at odds, Dimitri and Anastasia, because he is of this mindset of because she is Anastasia, she cannot. I mean, again, he's in love with her. She can't marry him because he's a nobody. So he has realized that he's in love with this person that is completely out of his league. Big time. And there's no point in him sticking around. It's only going to hurt worse. And so he just, he gets summoned to the Empress the next day, and she's kind of thanking him and tries to give him the money, and he says no. So she's kind of dumbfounded. It's just like, well, what do you want? He's like, you can't give me what I want. And she's like, did you change your mind? He's like, no, it's more of a change of heart. And then he's leaving. But he never, like, Anastasia sees him and just asks if he's taking the money to run. And he's like, you know, my work's done. And he doesn't correct her at all. He just kind of mopes and leaves. You know, he just gets real emo and leaves. But, you know, she softens a little bit. Like when he leaves, like you can tell she's really sad about it, even though she was like trying to be real mad. She wanted to be mad.
And still thinks at this point that he has taken the money because he didn't correct her. So she's, you know, able to probably settle it with herself by saying like, oh, you know, he's just a con man. I shouldn't feel bad. He's taken the money. He did this to get the money, et cetera, et cetera. And so, you know, he's out of her life and she just has to accept it at this point.
Yeah. And it's not until like there is a party thrown for her return, and there's like this big dance and everything, and the grandma is there with her, and just like noticing that she's looking really sad and kind of looking out into the crowd, and she's just like, hey, he's not going to be here. Like, he's leaving. And also, he didn't take that reward. In like more or less words, hey, if you want to hightail it and just do your thing, like you can do that. Like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I know you're alive, so that's cool now. So if you want to go like find that dude, do your thing, girl. It's kind of like the long and short of it.
Yeah, basically, like, you don't have to submit to being royalty just because of your blood. Like, you do what makes you happy. I'm just happy that you're alive.
Exactly. And this is where things start going all kinds of fun and crazy. Is like, so she starts leaving, but she sees Puka run out into the courtyard, which is this huge hedge maze. And he's like barking his head off at something, like something bad's out there. So she's like following him like, Puka, what's wrong? Follows him out into the hedge maze, which seals itself up with magic. So we're like, oh, Rasputin, he waits for you. And meanwhile, we saw also Dimitri's at the train station, like ready to get on board a train. So it seems like he's very far away from the whole situation when, yes, Rasputin comes out and is just like, hey, I'm going to kill you now. Like that kind of thing. Exactly what he sounds like.
Then it turns into like a battle scene, and basically this end fight scene where Rasputin is doing everything he can to kill her. All of these different things are coming to well, like these different statues and things are coming to life. The vines,
that horse statue,
the Pegasus statue.
Yeah, it became all like demony with like the green eyes, and like the way it was animated was cool too. Like they mixed CGI with the 2D animation for that, and it looked really awesome.
So he has her like pushed onto a section of the bridge that he then uses his magic to kind of like break off. So it's falling down, and he's about to finish her off. And hold on, I'm trying to remember the order of this. Does Puka come and like bite his leg first, or does Dimitri come and punch him first?
Dimitri shows up out of nowhere. And punches Rasputin in the face.
Oh yeah, because he says, he like leads into it by saying like, no one can save you now. And that's when Dimitri comes in and literally saves her by punching him in the face.
Punches him in the face. Yes.
Then that Pegasus statue comes and starts like, it turns into a one-on-one battle with the Pegasus statue and Dimitri. Then that's when Anastasia is hanging off the side of the bridge, and she is about to be finished off by Rasputin. Puka bites his leg, and she's able to, and he then like looks back and sees like a splash in the water and assumes she's now fallen. And she had, I guess, managed to pick herself up while he was distracted. And then they start fighting, and she gets that demon vial, that green vial we were talking about earlier, and eventually like crushes it.
I love this.
Man, his death is great.
It's gruesome.
Because it's basically like life catching up to him or death catching up to him.
Yeah.
And he like his skin like falls off, and then his skin melts, and then like you see a skeleton, and the skeleton turns to dust. and it's just done in such a cool way. It's like, man, yeah, he's dead.
I love the skeleton too is just like the skin just it literally turns to goo, just melts off. But the skeleton's like flailing about as it crumbles. And that was so creepy. I also do love that like she smashes the vial just like under her like, you know, her like heel, like under her like real fancy shoe, you know. I liked that. For some reason it felt like a really powerful kind of message there that she's just crushing it under her now like jewel adorned shoe. And I thought that was pretty cool.
While saying she's doing it for like her family that he killed, all these other things. And so it was just a great and powerful moment for her. And it was good that it wasn't Dmitri who did this, that Anastasia was the one who was able to finish him off. He helped her, but he wasn't the, big hero who saved the day or whatever,
Yeah. Honestly, she saved him because Dmitri got his butt kicked. He was actually knocked
he was
unconscious.
Fighting a statue, a giant statue.
You're not going to win. Like, if you're just a regular man and you're trying to fist fight a statue, you're not gonna win.
Yeah, and Dmitri proved that.
Yeah, yep. Dmitri was living proof you can't beat a statue.
So she literally thinks he's dead because he's just like face down on the ground and looks dead for sure.
Yeah,
this is when they almost kiss again, and Puka brings her the crown, which is symbolic because that's when it hits Dmitri again after seeing the crown. He's like, oh, I
don't belong here.
She's still out of my league, basically. And, just leaves at that point.
Yep. And then we're not really sure what's going to happen. And then we see like the Empress walk into Anastasia's room and just finds the crown and a note basically, just saying that, she's okay. She's happy. She'll see her again soon in Paris. And Sophie is all excited. It's just like, oh my gosh, they eloped. And then we see them like on a boat going down a river and Dmitri and Anastasia are dancing and then they kiss. And it's like, oh, they really quickly got married and, changed of clothes and got on this boat and got, now they're kissing.
And had their happily ever after.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I had read that initially the ending of the movie did not have her leaving a note. And then like when they were thinking about it, like, well, we think audiences are going to respond pretty negatively to her just leaving her grandma behind without a word after.
Yeah, that'd be pretty messed up.
So that'd be pretty screwed up. So yeah, so that's when they backed up. Like, no, at least leave her a note and say she's going to meet her again. Not I'm gone for good,
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a right move.
So during the big battle, Bartok watched, did not get involved. As we said, he wouldn't help again. And as the boat is going down the river with Anastasia and Dmitri dancing because they're finally married, Bartok is dancing on the corner of like a cathedral, looking over it. He's just like dancing around, ballroom dancing. This little pink lady bat comes down and starts dancing with him and like hugs and smooches him. And he's like, oh, okay, goodbye. And like pulls the shade down to end the movie. And I loved it. It was cute.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well, Chris, looks like it's about time we send our inner kids to Paris to help Dmitri convince the Empress that Anya really is Anastasia, and maybe take those 10 million rubles for us if he doesn't want them. Then see what they thought of the movie Anastasia.
Usually I'm not a big fan of the big Disney princess movies, but this one is... Wait, what? This isn't Disney. What do you mean it's not Disney? It's got the lonely girl who becomes a princess, a lovable animal sidekick, a bumbling father figure, a scoundrel love interest with his hair parted down the middle, a creepy villain with otherworldly powers with a silly animal sidekick of their own. It's the whole formula.
This movie looked great, sounded great, and pretty much was great. I just feel a little bad for Bartok. On the one hand, he was an accomplice to the murder of most of the Romanov family, but on the other hand, he's just so adorable. I can't stay mad at him. Aw, come here, Bartok. You didn't mean to assist in the murder of the royal family, did you? No, you're such a good boy.
You know what? That reinforces, though, my idea that I think bats are adorable. I love bats. They're so cute.
Bats are super cute, except for, I don't know, Fidget was like an ugly bat with a deep voice, but I don't know. He was still cute in his own way, I guess.
Like bats in real life, except for like those hammerhead bats or the camel bats or whatever, those are gross looking. But like other bats, like regular just black bats, are so cute. I love watching them.
Fruit bats, especially, like with those long
Yeah.
snouts. So cute.
And what's real fun is when you like see pictures of bats hanging upside down, and then you turn that picture upside down like that one, and it looks like they're having a dance off. And
Yeah.
it looks so cool, and I love that. Bats are just awesome.
Bats are great.
I want one. But speaking of bats, what are some of the things that you liked about this film?
I mean, I went in with like no expectations. So seeing just how beautifully animated this movie was, I was legitimately impressed. Like I said earlier, I thought that I went in thinking this was like a lower budget thing, and then coming in and seeing just how great it looked, and it really stepped into some interesting dark territory, similar to what we saw in All Dogs Go to Heaven, but just like even darker if you really consider how it ties to reality. Like when they go into limbo and Rasputin is basically a rotting corpse falling apart, really any Rasputin scene is just like way dark, and his death, like all that, great. And the music was spectacular too. Like freaking Liz Calloway, she was one who sang for adult Anastasia.
Yeah.
And the more voice work I do, the more I appreciate vibrato, and she is like a master. Like it was so smooth and sounded so great. Like all of this music was awesome. Every single song here, like there are times where like musicals, like animated musicals, are kind of like a turnoff for me, but here it was like all so good. Like I would definitely listen to this soundtrack. It was just amazing.
I'm of the same mind. Like I'm not a huge fan of like musicals, and animated musicals fit into that as well. Like I just don't have a lot of interest in a lot of them. This one totally defies that feeling for me. I think this thing is masterful with all the songs that they do. They're all super good, so well done. The songs are good, they're sung well, and the animation that goes with them is fantastic. And they're super memorable. The December one is one that, like, as soon as I heard it, it just flooded back like all these memories of like seeing it as a kid. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I remember this. How haunting it sounds and how beautiful it sounds.
Even though I'd never seen this movie, I still somehow knew that Once Upon a December, at least the tune to it. So I must have heard it somewhere along the way. Probably
So
when this
good.
movie had first come out and I was hearing it in commercials or something. It was so good that was stuck in my mind for all these years. Even though you can pretty much tell where the story is going, since it's got that kind of format to it, like you were Kid you was talking about, because it's like typical princess meets pauper kind of style.
Yeah.
The plot was so interesting and so well done and well performed. And the characters are so likable that I thoroughly enjoyed it all the way through, however predictable it actually was.
I 100% agree with this because I think that even though it took advantage of like using archetypes, especially archetypes that Disney is used to using, they made the characters extremely in depth. Like none of these characters, even though some of them were archetypes, none of them were surface level. They all had some depth to them. Like, Dimitri, yeah, he's the scoundrel con man guy, but like the kid's he has some trauma, man. Like he worked in this place where the entire family got slaughtered. He's the one that helped this girl escape, and it's like he's doing what he has to survive and stuff, and then totally has a change of heart and sacrifices a lot to kind of right the wrongs that he was doing to her in that aspect, and then also just to get this woman reunited with her family. I mean, he kidnapped the Empress. Like, that's got to have some sort of sentence that comes along with it if things did not go according to plan. So there's a lot of depth to the characters, and I think Anastasia specifically and the Empress, I think, are the standouts from that. They're fantastic. Like, you really get a good feel for them, and I like too just how kind of like rough around the edges and spunky Anastasia can be, or Anya to that degree. Like, even though she does kind of get saved by Dimitri every once in a while for certain things, she saves him just as many times, if not more. Like, I think of that train scene, and she's really the one keeping her cool through most of it. Like, he's like getting frustrated trying to find a way to break the two train cars apart. And she literally just lights a stick of dynamite and hands it to him. She's like, here you go.
Yeah.
And It's like scenes like that I think are just really, really play well to her character quite a bit. And also Bartok is so lovely. I love that character so much.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
so fun.
Bartok's so good. And I'm conflicted about his character, or at least he was a conflicted character, but it was like, even though he's clearly just in there as levity for kids, it's like he still kind of works in the story. And it's great to see his evolution, even as a small character, and the short time we actually get to see him.
They could have just done the like Iago thing where he stands by Rasputin until the end and something happens.
He could have been just straight up bad, but no, he wasn't.
Yeah.
It was just circumstantial.
And I think it's interesting, too, that they had Bartok turn on him before the end, and not really like turn on him, just say, I'm not going to support you, like way before the end battle. I also thought it was a really interesting play, too, to have the reveal to the Empress that Anya was Anastasia quite a bit before the end also. Because I feel like a Disney thing, that would be like the culmination, like the end scene of like the Empress sees at the very end that, oh, this is my Anastasia, like after the dust settles and Rasputin's defeated, all that kind of stuff. Like she sees her defeat Rasputin, and that's where she's like, oh, this is my granddaughter. But like, right. I think it was really strong storytelling to be like, no, we don't need to end on that. We've got this. So well done with that.
It's like a huge lift, and then it drops right back down with the Rasputin thing. So yeah, it was very well done.
Any dislikes or criticisms of the film that you've got?
I don't know that it's like a dislike. I kind of wish there were more Rasputin, because like we see him like periodically throughout the movie, but they're pretty short scenes, and he's not actually interacting with anyone except for Bartok here and there. His appearance at the end battle was cool, but after all the buildup to get him there, that felt kind of short. Like that was almost like Super Shredder short from the, Secret of the Ooze, where it's like, oh, here's this ultimate villain, and then he's dead in 30 seconds. I get it. Like you can't really like draw that scene out too much more, but I kind of just wanted there to be either him like more present throughout the movie as a back in person, I guess, outside of Limbo. Maybe like he could have like kidnapped the grandma or something. I don't know. Like maybe it would have gotten too Disney at this point if they had gone that route. But that would be my only thing. And it's not necessarily a negative. It's just something that I think I wanted more of. Like I can't even say for sure that I did, but I feel like I did want more of that. And maybe it's just because like I wanted more over the top villainous Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, I mean, he did such a good job in the role that I totally get that. I didn't even think about it until you said that. And then I'm like, oh, man, now I want more Rasputin, too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think it would have worked if they would have extended that last battle a little bit longer and maybe made the situation become a little bit even more dire. Like, let's say some of the stuff didn't work out. Maybe Rasputin himself becomes like he uses even more dark magic on himself, and he himself becomes more monstrous. He sucks some of those little like demons into himself, and he like spouts some horns and gets bigger and gets these big wings out and becomes like real monstrous. Like that would have been cool.
Yeah, totally. I think that would have been a great way to extend that, even if that part of it was short and then like, stopped in some way quickly by the others. Like I still think the culmination and the buildup of it getting to at least that point, instead of just him being there and like trying to make her fall off a bridge, like that was the ultimate thing. It's like, I'm going to make you fall in the water. Like
you
that
fall
just doesn't
off this
seem
bridge right now, young lady.
Yeah. You die the same way I did in the cold water. Like, I don't know. So yeah, it's not like, they are way better writers than I'll ever be. So this is just me coming from what I would have wanted to see, which is a little bit more of him. They could have cut out that scene of them like doing all the shopping in Paris or whatever, or like shortened that scene, extended this one a little bit, and I think it would have been perfect.
I agree with that 100%. I agree with that. There was two things that I wrote down. One was I think this was animated masterfully. However, I feel like some of the facial expressions weren't that great every once in a while. And specifically, it's Dimitri. Like, he just had some weird looks on his face sometimes that I felt like didn't match the situation. I don't know. It was just something about him. I was just like, oh, that just doesn't look right. I think everything else looked good. I think like Anya, Anastasia always looked fine. I think the Empress always looked fine. Vlad always looked fine. It was just something with Dimitri looked weird several times in the movie to me. But there was one scene where it came out the most, and this was at the opera when he was like getting found out by the Empress and stuff. Like some of the faces he made, I was just like, why did you animate him to look like that during this scene? Like he smelled something really bad and like got, I don't know, like, and also like he's trying to get something stuck out of a back tooth a few times. So I was like, what is this face? Anyway.
Yeah, I think I remember what you're talking about. And I agree with you. It wasn't like so distracting, but it definitely felt strange in the moment.
Yeah, I was just like, why? Whatever. The only other thing that, and that was just me nitpicking. The only other thing that I actually did not like was that Dimitri showed up out of nowhere and punched Rasputin in the face. He was nowhere near the palace. He was literally like at the train station and then somehow got there. And I'm assuming this train station isn't right next to the palace. Like literally, it was like the scene before that. He was there. There's no way he would have gotten there in time. Like it breaks all the rules of travel unless he can time travel or teleport. It didn't make any sense other than it was just so they could have him being a bit of a hero. And I'm like, man, I didn't care for that. It just, I don't think it was necessary. Or at least if they would have put in some scene of him, like at least realizing, oh, I'm making a mistake, I need to go back or something ahead of time, then I think it would have made sense. But the fact that he's never seen that there's any kind of threat out there for her, then he just runs up through this hedge maze that was sealed off by magic, somehow gets through it, runs up and punches this dude in the face right at the time he says no one's here to save you. So
yeah,
that was dumb.
He was protected by plot armor there. He needed to be there right then.
And that's the part I don't like. And I don't like when things are done in a story because plot armor. I think I hate that. I hate when that happens. It was a dumb move, I think.
I felt the same way when I saw him come up. I'm like, how close was he? Because that was really fast. Because we had like just seen him like getting on the train, or not getting on the train, but like at the train station, right?
And dressed completely different too.
Yeah. So
I'm wondering.
I don't know. There was just like a time skip kind of situation, or like a fast forward that we didn't witness.
It makes me think that there was a scene that got edited out, to be honest. I bet there was.
Probably right. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there had to have been for that to make any sense.
Yeah, just to make it a little snappier. But man, like that would have gone a long way, just like showing him coming back without it being because she's in danger. Just like I've changed my mind, I'm going to go back.
Yeah, he's going to come back to fight for her figuratively. And then like he sees something from a distance like going on. Like we see him seeing what's happening. And then he runs over there. Maybe see him like fight through some hedges and vines, like some magic stuff to get to her, you know?
Maybe. I mean, maybe that, but I'm okay with there being like the surprise of him like jumping in at the last minute, like the right moment. But I at least needed some kind of preceding scene showing me that he was at least on his way back, so that we can at least have the tension of like, oh, we know he's coming, but is he going to get here in time?
Yeah.
Instead of like, you know, he's on a train. There's no way he's going to get here in time. You know?
No Nightcrawler Bamf out of there for some reason.
But yeah. So what would you give this movie overall? All that aside.
I mean, that aside, to be honest, I think it's like Don Bluth was like, hey, let's make one of the old style Disney films, but let's make it better. And I think they did it. Because like, so as a kid, when I saw this, like I didn't know the difference between this movie and like Sleeping Beauty or Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, all the others. And this was honestly my favorite out of all of those like princess type films. They did so much right with making a really compelling story, intriguing characters, adding real horror to it, as well as humor. And horror in a way that we talked about, like when we reviewed All Dogs Go to Heaven just a couple episodes ago. that like really sticks with you when you're a kid and like you can't forget about it. That's one thing that's persisted in my head was like those scary moments with Rasputin, but also just the majesty and the ornateness and how beautiful the film was. Overall, it was a fantastic animated film, and I think it deserves tons of praise. So I gave Anastasia 5 bowls of possessed Pegasus statue cereal out of 5.
As we've discussed, like this is my first time ever seeing this movie. So it was sort of a Don Bluth blind spot for me for the longest time. And it might have been better for me to see it now anyway, because I don't know that I fully would have comprehended or understood the context of what was actually going on, and nor known about the actual ties to the historical figure. And now that I have seen it, though, I can totally understand why this one is considered a classic and agree that it is absolutely one of Don Bluth's best films. So overall, I'd give Anastasia 5 big bowls of peppermint grandmama cereal out of 5, and think you should absolutely check this one out if you haven't, and maybe give it a rewatch if you have. If you don't do it for me, do it for Bartok.
Do it for Bartok. This is one that it's like, I could watch this pretty much any time. Like at least once a year, I would watch this film. I think it's that good.
Yeah, it's that strong, really, because like it's not dumbed down for kids at all. It is a kid's movie, quote unquote, because it's got Bartok in it, but that's kind of just for the merchandise side of things. Like the story is very serious and really tense in a lot of moments.
I also just really love the fact that they pull from actual historical events. Like even though it's so barely, involved with like historical things, just the fact that there is some to it, I feel like makes it a little bit more magical in that sense. It adds like a little bit more sense of wonder to it.
Yeah, it makes it a lot more interesting because it's playing off of the rumor of her still being alive in such a way that it really like expands and takes it to a totally different level. And I like that a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you again to our favorite 00 agent, Sarah Lee 008, for bringing this to us.
Yes, thank you, Sarah Lee. I'm glad that I finally saw it, and I don't think I would have done it had it not been for you.
I'm also glad that you did it so that Joseph would see it, because I wanted him to see it.
And I definitely wouldn't have done it for Chris.
Yeah, he never does anything for me.
Well, listeners, looks like our milk supply is now run dry, so it's time for us to say goodbye. And next week, we'll be watching
Olive, the Other Reindeer, submitted via Twitter by Ira.
Good old Ira. It's been a while since I've heard that name.
Yeah, Ira, we haven't seen that name for a little bit. But I'm pretty sure this has been on our list for at least 5 years. So I'm glad we're finally getting to it.
So Ira probably doesn't listen anymore, but bless him for trying to give it to us. I've heard of this movie, but I've definitely never seen it.
Same with me. But when I told Rochelle that this was the next one coming up, she was very excited and was like, I'm watching this with you when you watch it. So I was like, oh, okay. So she loves it. And I know from others that I've talked to and asked if they knew it, it's been pretty much all positive things. So apparently very well beloved.
I was always kind of like taken aback by the animation of it, because now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah,
Same.
I remember the way it looked, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. But then it's got a decent rating on IMDb, so I'm like, well, maybe it works well within the context of the story. So we'll see.
We'll give it a shot, that's for sure, because we don't have a choice.
Exactly, because you're forcing us to. Thanks, Ira.
Thanks, Ira.
Well, once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And we'll see you next Saturday.
Presented by Nerdsloth,
a place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.
Evening. Buyer's remorse. Buy a new car? I'll be moving in. Let's get started. Sorry, I think there's been a mistake. I bought it from Carvana.
You what?
Yeah, great price. I even have 7 days to love it or return it.
So there's no...
No buyer's remorse. More like buyer's rejoice.
I guess I'll let myself out. Congratulations. I mean it.
Buyer's rejoice. Buy your car today on Carvana.
Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.